It's Thursday, February 25th, 2021. It's good to be home. Got back from Los Angeles a couple days ago. If you have not had a chance, please check out some of my last videos. I shot some footage while I was up in Los Angeles showing you what's happening to the second largest city in America and what's coming to the rest of America. Also, before I start today, please give this video a thumbs up. And please make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you really like this channel, even if you don't like it, if you want to support it, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, and share these videos with everyone you know and you don't know. Also, please come over and check out my Patreon channel where we can speak a little bit more openly about what's happening socially. But as I start this video today, I just want to recap a little bit about Los Angeles. What an eye-opener. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping another video that we shot in Skid Row, the worst neighborhood in America, the worst area in America. People living in boxes, just sleeping out on sidewalks, under plastic tarps, a gang epidemic, a drug epidemic. It's just unbelievable what's going on. And this area in Los Angeles that they call Skid Row, I've been there numerous times. This area is now expanding into other parts of California, and it's expanding out into other parts of America. People are going to have to start to see their own Skid Rows in their own cities and in their own states, not just here in California. But we have a real crisis going on here in America, ladies and gentlemen. And as this economy continues to collapse, we're going to see more homeless people, more drug use, more crime, and more Skid Rows across America. So please check out the past videos and please check out the video tomorrow that I'll be dropping. It's an eye-opener, and it's really, really sad to see what can happen to a human being. But let's talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But right now, I want to talk about the stock market. Dow Jones down 560 points today. NASDAQ down 4.78% today. That's a little over 3.5%. There is no doubt something very, very wrong going on with the stock market, the massive manipulation. 10-year bond yield, 1.6% today. I think it's hovering around 1.4 right now. We're seeing people running out of bonds, and I was talking to a friend of mine today. Where is everybody going? Apparently they're not going into gold and silver. They didn't go into the stock market today. Where they're going is cash, ladies and gentlemen. People are running to cash right now, and it's probably one of the worst places you can be. This, to me, is a prime opportunity, as we saw a pullback on gold and silver, a prime opportunity to be buying some gold, buying some silver. This stuff is on sale, even though the premiums are up, and they're going to continue to go up. I think it's a buying opportunity, and I think there's never been a more important time in our history here in America to be owning and protecting your wealth with precious metals. I just made an order yesterday through SD Bullion. I bought gold and I bought silver. I'm going to do the best I can to back up the truck and play this game. They want to smash metals. They want to play this game. I'm going to keep buying it because I don't see any other option. I don't want to be sitting completely in cash. I am not going to be gambling at the poker table of Wall Street. I see big trouble coming, ladies and gentlemen. I see big trouble coming to the real estate market, whether that's commercial, residential. I see big trouble coming to the US dollar. Big trouble in the bond market. There is just big trouble coming. And this is the time that we need to really critically be thinking about how we're going to protect ourselves financially and how we're going to protect ourselves in other ways with food, water, security, and awareness. But really good buying opportunity today with gold and silver. But I want to talk a little bit more about the 10-year bond yield. What does this mean? To a lot of people, they're oblivious. They have no idea what's going on. They're out playing golf today. They're roller skating. They'll be watching reality TV tonight or cartoons or whatever the heck they're doing. But you and I all know what this means. Bond yields are beginning to surge. This is another canary in the coal mine. And this means that Interest on a mortgage begins to creep up. You want to buy a car, that auto loan interest now begins to creep up. The credit card interest begins to creep up. This is big trouble, and if they don't get it under control soon, we're going to have a very, very big problem. So I guess the Fed's going to have to expand that balance sheet a lot more. We got the jobless claim number today. Came in better than expected. That's the great news. So everybody out there that thinks this is very negative, there's some great news today. We only had 730,000 people last week file first-time jobless claims. Now, this will probably be revised next week, and it will probably be much higher. But it's shocking that while I was watching some of the business channels this afternoon, nobody even said a peep. Nobody even mentioned anything about the 730,000 first-time jobless claims last week. It's absolutely shocking how you can ignore such a shocking piece of news. 730,000 people filed first-time jobless claims last week, and nobody even talks about it. In fact, I pulled it up on CNBC, and I was reading about it, and it was actually good news because it was better than expected. This is good news. So if they say anything, they use it as good news. But this is terrible news. We are continuing to hemorrhage jobs in America. Yet Larry Kudlow, watching him on Fox Business today, he came out and said, America is doing great and it's going to do even greater. Larry, we just lost another 730,000 jobs. How are we doing great? It's really appalling what is taking place, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody taking responsibility, nobody even discussing or making a plan on how we're going to get out of this disaster. We are in an economic disaster. We're watching a job crisis unfold unlike we've ever seen in the history of America. This is dwarfing what happened back in the Great Depression era. Who's going to have a job left? I just keep wondering every week when we're losing 7, 8, 900,000 jobs, who in the world is going to have a job left by the end of summer? It's staggering what we're seeing take place. But I want to go back to Los Angeles. As I spent some time in Los Angeles, I got to tell you, things are worse than you can even imagine. And just spending a couple days in LA opened my eyes, and I don't spend a lot of time there, but when I do, it's an eye opener. And this trip especially, I don't know if any of you heard the news today. Lady Gaga, her dog Walker, and I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga by any stretch of the imagination, but her dog Walker was walking 3 of her French bulldogs. I believe it was, I don't know if it was maybe this morning or last night. But anyways, this individual was approached by a couple other individuals, and they stole the French bulldogs and shot this gentleman, I believe it was a gentleman, 4 times in the chest. And stole the dogs. They took 2 dogs. One of them got away, but this happened in West Hollywood. This is multi-million-dollar residential real estate. This is some of the wealthiest people in America and even in the world that reside and have properties in the West Hollywood area. It's just surreal to think what is happening, and we were just there. We were in West Hollywood on Sunday shooting video, and just to think what has just transpired there in a wealthy area. And it's also been a feeding frenzy now for criminals to go there and rob people at gunpoint, taking their Rolexes, their jewelry, their diamond rings, what have you, their wallets. So you have this element now going into multi-million-dollar areas like West Hollywood and robbing people in broad daylight, shooting dog walkers in the chest 4 times, and stealing these French bulldogs, which can be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. So we're seeing crime surge. We're seeing desperation take place. And I hope all of you are taking precautions, scanning and assessing everywhere you are at in an environment, and really having your head on a swivel and really protecting yourselves and really beefing up your security issues. But going back to our venture in Los Angeles, it's an eye-opener, ladies and gentlemen, just to think when we were in Echo Park looking at and walking around with hundreds of tents, again, with million-dollar homes right across the street, yet 200 tents sitting on the lake, and people just walking and riding bikes and roller skating, just ignoring all of it as we were just being conditioned that this is the way it's going to be. A friend of mine, Raymond, commented earlier today, and he said this, and I thought this was really good. As goes California, so goes the rest of the country. I don't have to prove it because reality is going to prove it. I thought that was excellent. Thank you, Raymond. While we were up there, I want to report this to all of you. There were gas stations up there charging over $5 a gallon for regular, just for regular, over $5 a gallon. Where are we at today? 63 plus for a barrel of oil. So wherever you're at, get ready because gas is going to continue to go up. And again, at the worst possible time, while we're losing 7, 8, 900,000 jobs a week, while the economy continues to collapse. But the good news is the stock market will probably continue to go up. Even though we're down today, the Fed will just create a lot more money to keep the patient alive. I make these videos daily as a reminder to everyone out there watching to stay on track and to reinforce a message that I believe 110% in. Again, this is why I buy gold, I buy silver, I believe in security, I believe in having food and water put away. I believe in protecting yourself, protecting your wealth, walking closer to God, just trying to be a better individual, getting in a little bit better health, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And again, when you go to a city like Los Angeles, it really is a wake-up call. And wherever you live, I'm sure you are not far from an area that things are changing. And every once in a while, it's important to go out there, I think, and just have a wake-up call. Go out there and take a drive, maybe even a walk, and just get a real sense of reality. Because it's going to open your eyes, and when you see what I saw in Los Angeles, first off, I think I come home and I thank God for everything He has blessed me with. Secondly, I continue to prepare because what is coming is going to be so disastrous, and it's happening already. We are seeing a death by 1,000 cuts, and it's a slow death, but eventually this is going to accelerate. The bottom is going to fall out, ladies and gentlemen. The bottom is going to fall out. And if we start really having issues, like with this 10-year bond yield at 1.4, 1.5%, this could affect the housing market very, very quickly. And the housing market is going to crash at some point, but it's going to be caused by something like this. We're losing way too many jobs. That's going to be an issue. People are falling farther and farther into debt. That's another issue. Opportunity is decreasing. That's another issue. And now we have the 10-year bond yield at 1.4, 1.5%, as high as 1.6% today. It is telling all of you, it is warning all of you that something is going on here. Sooner or later, 0% interest rates and money printing are not going to fix the problem. And we're beginning to see that right now. We're seeing gold and silver, even though it was slammed today, premiums are through the roof. Inventory is wiped out. And people are beginning to wake up and know that holding physical is much more important than holding the paper, that the paper price isn't even going to matter. What's going to matter is what you're holding physically. You know, when I made some of these past videos, there were people in the comments, not very many, but there's still people out there judging people people that are forced to live on the streets now. Yes, there's drug addiction, there's mental disability out there, and there's people that have had bad luck, and there's normal people. Let me tell you, I saw thousands of people on the streets in LA, and there are people out there normal. And you don't know if certain people come from abuse, if people had some bad luck, got behind on the medical bills, lost a job, went through a bad divorce, car broke down, just didn't have the money to fix it, lost a job, et cetera, et cetera. You don't know what somebody's situation is until you've walked in their shoes. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter if somebody, has a mental disorder, if they've had some bad luck, or even if they're a drug addicted junkie. These people cannot be just sleeping on the streets of America. We have vets, okay? We have military vets sleeping on these streets. This is absolutely appalling to see Americans being forgotten about and just treated like garbage. It really is. And it's a total wake-up call that you do not ever want to land up in this situation. You don't ever want to land up in a place like that. You never want to land up homeless, because I'm here to tell you that people are going to land up in this situation. And I know that some of you don't believe that, but some of your friends are going to land up homeless, maybe even family members. And hopefully these people are going to have family to fall back on, or friends. Because if you don't have family and friends to fall back on, and you're in an economic crisis right now, you can be where these people are. And it is not a place you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I make these videos to prevent anyone out there ending up in a place like this that I saw over the weekend. You do not ever want to land up there. And that's why it's important right now to have a plan, to put some cash away, have an emergency fund, to have that gold and silver put away, to have that food and water put away, to have that security put away, to have a network of family and friends surrounding you. This is so important, ladies and gentlemen. Things are about to accelerate here in America, okay? When they no longer, look, the economy's done, it's toast. The stock market's next, the housing market's next, the bond market's next. This stuff is going to blow up, and it is going to be worse than a nuclear bomb going off in America. The repercussions from all this debt forgiveness for the past year, it's all going to come to an end. And people are going to have to begin to make rent payments, mortgage payments, and many of them are not going to be able to do it. We're going to see huge issues in these states and local municipalities and cities, because where's the tax revenue coming from when businesses have been closed for a year? I mean, it's just a total disaster, and there's no way out. Things are going to have to collapse before we can get out of this. This cannot continue to go on. We're going to see a massive collapse in this economy and in the stock market, in the housing market, in the bond market, because we got to clear all this out. It's got to be cleared out. And I believe that we're probably going to see a collapse with the US dollar also. And this, again, is why it's so important to be holding real physical gold, real physical silver. I just ordered yesterday SD bullion for anybody out there who's wanting to do it but is afraid because they don't know where to order from. SD bullion, I have a link down below. They've been phenomenal. Order from whoever you feel comfortable with. Just make sure it's reputable. But SD bullion's been phenomenal. You can go to my link down below, and they're gonna take very good care of you. I talked to them on the phone yesterday. Fantastic service. Got my order in. I don't know when it's going to get here. Probably 2, 3, even 4 weeks. But I locked in the price. I got it. And look, this is the time you must be walking the walk, ladies and gentlemen. You know, these people who talk the big game, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If this happens, I'll do that. Time's running out. Time is not your friend. Time is against you right now. Right now, you need to be preparing. In fact, you need to be preparing years ago. But if you're new to this, if you're watching, if you've been on the fence, you need to be preparing yesterday. Time is running out. We are getting closer to something very, very bad happening here. Time is not on your side. Time is not your friend. You need to be preparing right now. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Please share this video all over the place. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Check out Patreon. And I'll talk to all of you very, very soon. God bless all of you. Thanks for all the support, the prayers, the letters, all of your help. God bless.